This is Nerf. Oh, shoot. They're done. All you controller players are done. No, just the controller players on PC. Get them out of here. Embark just dropped the January 27th little update for us this week, and they've added solo versus squads. This they alluded to on their last roadmap for the year that I had gone over, but solo raiders level 40 and above will get a solo versus squads toggle. Now, I was assuming, wrong, clearly, this is where I'm a bit disappointed, that I thought the level 40 thing was going to be a separate playlist just for level 40 players. Maybe one that even required you to go in with a certain amount of gear, a minimum set, like have some reason to actually run some of the pink weapons that we've been saving up and getting, because there's really not a great reason to do it. Even when I go in super kitted out of my mind, like 100, 150K, I'm not really going to make money from that typically. Nonetheless, this is what they've ended up doing. So if you're level 40, you can do solo versus squads, which, I mean, chat, are any of you guys going to play this? Is that enticing to you to play a solo versus squads? I've never thought about doing that ever, so I don't know. When opting in, players will receive 20% bonus XP at the end of round on successful extract and defeat. Yeah, no. I mean, that's a decent extra bonus. I would say if I had restarted the game and I was trying to hit level 75 quickly, that could be worth it. If I spawn in and just do some little sneaky loot runs or something, but it's not, I don't know. I don't know what the incentive is for that personally. I do think the crazy sweat players who are PvP crazy, they might be inclined to do it, but I feel like it's going to be pretty hard to win a 1v3 against good players. Like if you're going up a team that knows what they're doing, just for the amount of health that's in the game, a 1v3 is pretty tough, let alone you're probably going to be a 1v3 and then another 1v3 because the third party that comes in, that's going to be a full trio while you're trying to reset as a solo for how long it takes to heal, for how limited the movement is. It seems insane to me. The solos v quads, the whole concept, I don't know. But then we also have trophy display. This is kind of cool. This is a long-term project that requires players to hunt increasing dangerous arc to submit their parts for rewards. Raiders will be able to build a display case with 5 different steps, similar to the Cranberry project. So if you guys go to the Raider here, go to projects, you can see trophy display, and there are a bunch of different items to turn in with different stages, similar to the expedition and the other event that have already occurred, which great having more end-game projects, honestly. I actually think that's kind of cool. The rewards for completing each step include blueprints as well as Raider tokens. That's great. The full completion is also bringing additional rewards, including a Howl emote, a guitar, and 300,000 coins. So you get at least some of the value back for all the stuff that you're going to be turning in. Of course, coins don't really mean anything, but if you're working towards your expedition, could be good. There's currently no fixed end date, and it will not impact the expedition reset. So, great as well. You have just some permanent thing you can continue to work through, even if you prestige and you want to keep going on it. Now, flocks of birds have moved into Buried City. This is the new Bird City event, building nests in empty chimneys. We got some reports of them storing shiny trinkets inside, so make sure to inspect them. This is a new permanent map condition. So the cold snap was not a permanent one. That was only here for a little bit. This is going to be a new permanent map condition, it looks like. It'll be applied to Buried City map only, which will cycle in and out of rotation weekly. There will be more bird traps and zip lines present on the map as well. That's kind of cool. More rotation options just built into the map. Raiders can expect more combat in, on, or around the rooftops, including more flying arc. Oh, good. 2 new types of epic augments have been added as well. I haven't seen those yet, so I don't know what those even are. They also added 7 new quests, which I did see as soon as I logged in today. One of them was for Stella Montis, which is kind of exciting. Now, patch highlights, open parties. The option to set your party to open so Embark and platform friends can join seamlessly, even when you're in round, to wait for your lobby for the next match. That's kind of nice. Squad invites, out of the option for squad mates to invite others to the party as well as the party leader. make joining a little easier. They fixed achievements. Stella Monte's Seed Vault extract fix, which I don't know what that even alludes to. Maybe you guys know. I know people get on top of the Seed Vault extract, but like they'll glitch kind of up there and then they'll just sit and camp at the top. Maybe that's what they mean. Mouse smoothing option was also added, which this is phenomenal. I've only tested this a little bit, but they finally added this for mouse players, guys. I know so many of you guys told me to go into the config files and change this, and I didn't want to do it, and I've been complaining about my mouse sensitivity so much. I turned off mouse smoothing. It already feels better. Now, I also went into my graphics setting and totally tweaked my settings. I dropped this down to performance, and I also turned off frame generation, which it didn't really hurt my game, I don't think, too much. I was on all max settings, getting like 180 FPS with it, but I feel like maybe that was where my mouse sensitivity kept changing. So I turned that off and I dropped my settings, and now my frame rate's 200 FPS with no frame gen, but of course doesn't look quite as good. So you guys have to tell me how you think the game looks. I still think it looks really good, but I finally turned my settings down. I'm trying to become a better PvPer a little bit here, and I think with the mouse smoothing too, kind of excited. They also added gamepad rebinding, so that might be good for all my controller homies out there. Good luck on that. Fixed a couple of achievements. Now, for Ark traversing obstacles has been improved. The Leaper now is now better at walking when it loses its legs. It's a little bit more of a threat there. The Leaper's become, at first, what was so scary is now like not even a problem. I'm never dying to a Leaper, you know? Dead Shredders now properly are labeled as scavengeable when pinged. That's not a big deal. Snitch fixed an issue where snitches would abort calling down Ark if players threw a lure grenade during the call-in. I didn't even know that. Snitches will no longer make noise after they are destroyed. Spotters as well. These are the ones for the Bombardier. Fix an issue where spotters would follow players into buildings and get stuck. The tick, when grabbed by the tick, players will now have a brief window of time, or they can dodge roll to remove the tick. Interesting. Now that's not a sprint roll, is it? Or is that what a dodge roll means? Is it any roll? I feel like any roll is a dodge, technically, right? Audio fix an issue where emotes were missing voice lines. Fixed voice chat cutting in some cases. Oh, I really hope this is fixed. I really hope this one is fixed. So many times I've been talking to somebody, and I can't even hear it. Did they fix the Shinya roll? No, I was doing it this morning. That's what I'm going to be doing today. Improve the voice chat connection. Hopefully that's true. Now, maps. General. The types of containers that can spawn condition-specific blueprints have been lowered during the electromagnetic storm. Hidden bunkers and Lockgate.
New MK3 augment that lets you use your safe pocket for anything you want. Goop, goop, goop.
What? Really? Raging, thank you for the 200 bits. Raise the chances of find. So the types of containers that spawn condition-specific blueprints have been lowered. So does that mean you're going to get less Bobcats and less Volcanos and less grappling hooks blueprints coming out? Seems like it. Raise the chance of finding higher tier weapons in weapon cases. Ooh, I love weapon cases. That's good. Slightly lowered the chance of finding the matriarch and queen unique parts in their armor pieces to make it a bit harder to get without destroying them completely. The meta of shooting the leg off, smoking looting net is going down. Maybe they saw my video where I stole all that loot from everybody. Oops. Fixed multiple containers across all maps that were not interactable. Fixed a Raider hatch timing bug and camera getting stuck when the interaction fails. They need to fix the bug. Did you guys see the bug where we couldn't get down the hatch because of a dead Raider body on top of it? They need to fix that. Dam Battlegrounds tweaked some of the cliffs around the Raider outpost tower at the dam where players tended to get stuck. Adjusted the elevator shaft collision to prevent players from getting stuck in the dam control tower. Fixed collision issues. The pattern house fixed an issue where players could reach an unintended location in water treatment. Buried City removed invisible wall. Removed the musical puzzle. Oh, the puzzle's gone. Yeah, I did see that, actually. You can buy the guitar now from the security. So if you want to get the guitar now, you use these creds. So you go to the traders security and you could buy a guitar here for 70 creds, which I find to be incredibly cheap. And I checked. Actually, I didn't check, but we can check right now. It still sells for 7,000. So if you want a little bit of free money, you could buy one of those and sell it. Does it recycle? Oh, recycles for wires too. Interesting. That's kind of fun. Get 6 wires out of it for the 6 strings. That's cool. Okay. Anyways, Spaceport fixed an issue where rocks and glass would float in the air. Spawn locations during hidden bunker on the bunker. Make sure that spawns directly on top of antennas. Stella Montis, they fixed the seed volt extraction glitch on Stella that allowed players to remain in the extraction point after it had closed. Okay, so that's what they were talking about before. The night raid lighting has been updated with most lamps turned off. Fixed 40 locations on Stella Montis where players would frequently get stuck. Fixed Bastion and Stella being able to spawn out of bounds and attack players to walls. This happened to me. I should get my kit back for this. I died. I died from that. The Bastion spawned out of the map and killed me through the wall. Anyways, I'm not mad about that. The loot spawn locations have been adjusted so items are more evenly distributed throughout the map as well. That's very interesting because right now, Stella has a big problem where it's only assembly, medical. That's pretty much it. Have the best loot. Archives is pretty dog water. And it's a red tier location. Industrial's pretty good. The breach there is really good for springs, and that whole industrial area is good for springs. Lobby, true. Checkpoint lobby, that's really good as well. But it's not the same. Chat, no. Checkpoint is not as good as medical and assembly. At least it wasn't. Because you would maybe second floor checkpoint, maybe you get a magnetron or accelerator from the second floor room. Other than that, the only reason people like that was because you get all the drawers that pop up and the boxes that give you the Mark III augments. But it depends what you're going for. But like in terms of, for BPs, it's better, true. But if you want to get magnetrons, ion sputters, even the blue items that spawn on there, like the fuses that are 3K a pop that stack for 3, those are still they only spawn in medical and assembly. They don't spawn in checkpoint. So I still think that the loot is heavily favored in those 2 areas, I think. But we'll see. You know I'm a looting fiend, so I will figure out where the loot goes. I will figure out the loot update. Various crash fixes. Added mouse smoothing, matchmaking delay option for stream sniping. Mitigation? What? What is that? How do I add delay? How do I do that? Q delay. Has anybody seen that yet? Oh, that might be good. Peanut might be happy about that one, huh? Fixed an issue that allowed players to play the guitar while using the zipline. What? Made aim assist consistent across different frame rates. Aim assist nerf. Oh, shoot. They're done. All you controller players are done. No, just the controller players on PC. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Those cheaters. If you're using a controller on PC, you're cheating. Get them out. Fixed issue where inputs now always... If you didn't know, aim assist was significantly better, was based on your frame rate. So if you're playing on PC with super high frame rate, you had significantly better aim assist, which is why people were like, wait a second, what is this guy cheating? And then they tried on their computer, on their Xbox that's playing at 30 FPS, and they're like, wait a second, what's going on? I don't get aim assist like this. But then if you looked at other people that were on controller, also on super high frame rate, they were going crazy aim assist, snapping like crazy. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now they're cooked. Fixed issues where inputs not always registered at above 30 frame rate. Fix an issue where Marco sets helmet variants. Trinkets. Clipping issues. Sun lens. Selected codex entry. Fireworks boxes. Graphic settings. Lighting polish. Fix an issue where player movement input would temporarily be unresponsive after having network issues. Players would fall off of ladders. Players automatically jumped off a ladder when entering crouched. Added a new tab to the option menu, allowing free rebindings for the gamepad buttons. Big controller buff there. Fixes the display of VoIP trigger actions when players on gamepad versus PC. Okay, I don't know. Out of the option for open parties, so Embark can join seamlessly. Some of this is duplicate things. They already talked about these. This is maybe just the nitty-gritty of it. Friends joining parties, Discord linked, utility. Fix zipline anchor point, updating its position correctly when on a moving platform. Changing augments and loadout now arranges the excess items in the stash better. Fixed an issue where two players using defib at the same time would revive down player with full health. So that was unintended. I did see that. You could double stim somebody and full heal them instantly. They didn't mention fixing the... You could put the zipline on an inanimate object. Added additional interactions to the final object for groundbreaking quest. Anti-cheat, a 3-strike progressive ban system is now in place. Oh, interesting. 30 days, 60 days, and then permabanned. Uh-oh. Solo v squads currently does not have a pop-up when the option becomes available to players when reaching level 40. Yeah, okay. Well, that's pretty much everything. So I think it's going to be a good update. I'm pretty excited to try this today.